Dan, what is your thoughts on this slap fighting championship? I mean, this one, I'm not going to lie to you. I'll watch it all day long because it's entertaining. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're pretty stupid for letting a man slap you in the face and not protect yourself. But we talk about CTE and concussion. Some of these guys are getting knocked slap out. I'm afraid of what the repercussions that this is going to have a little bit down the road, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I know we talked about this at one other time, but I think the way I orchestrated it, my answer was boxing has been around for 100 plus years. And boxing was probably the number one contributor to CTE, Alzheimer, dementia, things of that nature because of the way that they practiced, the way the matches go. I mean, especially if you go back in time and you see some of these matches, some of these boxing rounds went in excess of 100 rounds. Think about that. There's again, just for some due diligence, because some I know some of our fans are going to say, no, there's no way because of the 15 rounds. No. If you go again back in the day where they simply just set up some ropes and you just had a couple guys that were out there and they didn't have gloves on back at that point in time either. They were doing bare knuckles because this way. What I like what you're doing right now, because I know you're doing some fact checking here.
Oh yeah, and I mean it gets even worse. Honestly, I mean the first thing that pulled up was this guy named Andy Bowen, and it said he had a fight that lasted over 110 rounds, over 7 hours and 19 minutes.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
We see that's where again I already knew that there were several bouts that went in excess of 100 rounds, and I'm thinking I don't know how long each round was. It doesn't matter. The fact that even if they were 1 minute long, that's incredible to be thinking that you boxed that long with somebody. Yeah. Doing that, again, I don't know how long the break was in between rounds at that point in time. Did they have going back into the thing to get at that point in time it was probably a ladle in a bucket that you poured you got to drink a little bit. You poured the ladle over your head because these were not highly sophisticated things. These were set up that they were outside in the sun beating down on them.
I mean, even 110 rounds though, Dan, I mean, this was something where you could defend yourself, I mean, the stamina of these guys is crazy, but this slap fight to just put your face and say, I'm not going to block you, hit me as hard as you can, no gloves, no nothing. It's ludicrous.
Yeah. Well, especially the more and more that you learn about the dynamics, because they're supposed to be putting a slap somewhere right around that right cheekbone type area, but without actually hitting or accompanying the ear. It's where it's supposed to be hitting. But when you start to learn the dynamics, they're leading more and more with a wrist bone.
Yeah,
they're going to come in there to where that's what they're going to be hitting with that big, strong, meaty type portion, because that. If they can pop it somewhere around that temple region, that's a knockout point. So you do see, I think you probably see a lot more knockouts in slap boxing than you'll ever see in boxing.
Happens almost every round.
Yeah. And you get, it's like baseball, 3 strikes, and then you're out.
Well, the sad thing is, I mean, a lot of this doesn't even make it to the second person because the very first slap knocks the person out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just don't know how you measure the toughness of these guys when almost everybody could get knocked down on the first slap.
Yeah, well, no,
it's entertaining.
As we started this conversation, this sport, being the newest kid on the block, is going to make its way up quicker than any other sporting event for adding to the contribution of CTE, Alzheimer, and dementia. That is Dan Severn's prediction.
I agree. But you know what? I do not blame Dana. I know a lot of people are going to want to blame Dana for getting into this. I do not blame Dana. Dana saw a need, or not such a need, but a desire for people to see this entertainment.
Yeah, it's a business opportunity. It's entertainment, just like you said. Perfect.
The fighters know what they're getting into.
Yes.
They know what they're getting into, so you can't point the finger at Dana.
Yeah, no, it is. The only thing that, I mean, when he makes a comment that he says he's made this safer. Thinking, well, I'm not sure how you can make this any safer because there's nothing safe about it. But maybe for a fact that they do have catchers standing behind them.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I could see.
Yeah. but
if you got to hold the pool noodle, if you let go of the pool noodle, it's over.
Yeah, but if you got a 300 plus pound dude, and he starts to timber back into you with dead weight, and you and Skeeter over here, who weighs like all of 100, 150 pounds, you guys aren't going to be catching no big horse coming back at you.